say, goddamn. He said, all right. I said, let's do a podcast. Let's sit down. Let's get a coffee. Let's just talk about 1, 2, 3, 4. Coffee with the Sam. Got a little podcast. Grab yourself a little coffee and a podcast.
What's happening, guys? Welcome to the Coffee with Sam podcast. Now, before we get into today's guest, who is back by popular demand, the amount of guests I've had on, and like, I'm not going to dig you down here, but interesting people, like near-death experiences, and like, and then you, mate, you've blown up, literally blown up.
Yeah.
So I was like, you know what? There's more news going on in the world that we can talk about that you're interested in. Let's give the listeners what they want, and we'll get him back on. But welcome to the Coffee with Sam podcast on this beautiful, sunny Wednesday in the West Midlands. I don't know what it's like in London. Now, this episode is sponsored by Wax and Relax. www.waxandrelax.co.uk, guys. They make homemade wax melts, and they go in your house, probably in your garden when we've got summer. You could put them outside. They melt. I don't know if you've seen them. You put a flame underneath them, you melt, and they come out with the flavors, whatever they've infused the wax with. Now, they are handmade, guys. Now, in this time, we need to support local businesses, small businesses. They're from Bournemouth. They feel the waves, they feel the sea, they feel the sand from Bournemouth. They know what a good smell smells like. So get at them, www.waxandrelax.co.uk for all your good smelling wax melts. And Jack can fill us in a second. But sunny Wednesday here. And I want to start my day with moaning. Why do people have to moan all the time? So me and Alex have bought a camper van, And to help the family out, I'm not putting it on the drive because it's just bigger. It makes a nightmare with cars, etc. on the drive. So I'm parking it in this lay-by up the road. So I already have to walk up the road to get to and from my vehicle for the American listeners. The vehicle. And this lay-by has never got cars in it. Maybe one or two. And it's like a 3-car lay-by. We've already had problems around by the house that I can't park in other lay-bys with my car. Let alone a van, yeah? People telling me I can't park in public lay-bys. So to stop it's not my house. So to stop any hassle, I'm like, yes, sir, no, sir, 3 bags full to the sir. Just to keep the in-laws happy that we live with at the moment. So now I'm parking miles away to make the in-laws happy as well, in a lay-by that's never got anyone in. I come back, get to my van this morning, someone has parked like an inch away from the bumper, and there's a curb behind me. So I have to back onto this curb to get out. So they've clearly done it on purpose. Why are you parking here? 63 plate Audi, and I'm like, I want to just scratch your car, bro. But it ain't my house to cause any trouble. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I'm hoping that it's there when I get back in the morning, and I'm just going to do a swift parallel park and say, mate, you ain't stopping me parking here, mate. It's public. So what I'm trying to get at is, why do people moan so much? Like, we had problems outside the house once, and this dude came over, banging the door, kicking off 6 a.m. in the morning, screaming and shouting at my missus. And I'm like, when I then want to go and talk about it, it's my car, I go and knock and just say, you're right, dude, apparently we've got a problem, let's talk about it. Why does no one else approach a situation like that these days? Like, it's been 2 days I've had my van in this lay-by. Just leave a note and say, hi, you all right? Just checking that you're not a randomer, you do live on the estate. Why is it here? If you want to be that nosy, leave a note. Don't just block me in an attempt to make it awkward for me to get out. Because guess what? I'm going to park there again. And I might even park there in the middle, so you can't get any other cars in there.
Own it. Just own it. Yeah.
So I had to do that. The sun's shining, though. Sun's shining in the West Midlands. I needed to start that. I need to get it out. I was driving here, like, I need to tell the listeners about... Stop moaning. Jeez, if you've got a problem, talk to someone about it. Or guess what? It ain't your problem, because it's a public space of parking. Like, if I could understand if I was putting a coach there... But I've had problems with just putting my car there, and I've got a Volkswagen Golf, man. It's not even that long. Like, and I've had problems with people moaning about that. That's it, over. The podcast is positive. So I'm here, 3 coffees in like standard, and I've had a can of Monster already this morning. So I'm 3 coffees in and a can of Monster. So stimulation freaks, I am hitting the 10 on the stimulation Richter scale. That's not even Richter scale. What is a scale of stimulation? Sam. There's 0 to Sam when you're stimulated on coffee. 0 to Sam. There's no in the middle. And I'm on Sam. I'm on the Sam end of the scale today. And we're welcoming back. I'm sorry, guys. You keep calling him Captain Jack Sparrow now. I did that. It's literally, guys, you know what thumbnails are like. You have to drag people in. You
got to, man.
I had to do it. His name is not Captain Jack Sparrow. He's just in the Navy and his name's Jack. His last name's Jack Crow, which is quite fitting for the Navy too. But welcome back to the show, Jack. Dude, I've released like 2 episodes since yours, and yours is still downloads.
Is it?
Oh my God, that was great. Now, this episode is sponsored by Wax and Relax. www.waxandrelax.co.uk, guys. They make homemade wax melts, and they go in your house, probably in your garden when we've got summer, you could put them outside. They melt. I don't know if you've seen them. You put a flame underneath them, you melt, and they come out with the flavors, whatever they've infused the wax with. Now, they are handmade, guys. Now, in this time, we need to support local businesses, small businesses. They're from Bournemouth. They feel the waves. They feel the sea. They feel the sand from Bournemouth. They know what a good smell smells like. So get at them, www.waxandrelax.co.uk for all your good smelling wax melts. You can vibe on them, guys, and listen to this song By and By Ross Ellis. Downloads. And to you, all we did was chat absolute waffle.
It was just me venting about my problems. That's all it was. But yeah, no, thanks for having me back, mate.
No, I've been excited for this.
It's nice to be there. Have you?
And normally, when we first started the podcast, I had returning guests. But I've tried not to have returning guests. Like, I want to try and at least if we're going to come back once a year. But dude, the demand was just far too extensive for me to say, I can't make this not for the listeners to happen 2 episodes after. Like,
you must have got abuse, innit? You must have had at least 5 messages like, come on, why have you got this guy on?
Well, it's not just that. It's I had the listeners wanted you in, but also the football news just keeps rolling, and there's no one else that I want to chat football to than you. So,
thank you.
You know what? There might be methods to not having a repeat guest, not having a guest within 2 episodes, not having a guest. Screw that. This is my podcast. I'll do what I want. 2 episodes in, I'm having you back.
Yes.
And as you can see, there's balloons behind me.
Yeah. What's going on?
Why? Dude, I hit over 2,000 downloads this week.
Hey.
Over 2,000 downloads. I ain't here celebrating 10,000. I'm not here celebrating 100,000. I want to celebrate every small milestone. And we've hit over 2,000 downloads. Now, that's incredible to me.
Oh, nice one, man.
Just over a year in, and 2,000 people have listened to me and guests chat waffle in their ear holes, sometimes for hours.
I wish you'd have told me. I'd have put rum in my coffee or something. Like I'd have spiced it up a bit.
Well, I was gonna let you know, and you could have dressed up, and we'll save that. We'll save that for the 10,000 download episode.
I have dressed up.
Oh, sorry about
this
that.
This is my favorite hoodie.
Bro, with the 10,000 download episode, I want a suit.
Oh, you'll get it, mate.
I want you in the studio.
Everything.
We're gonna have 20 people in the studio. I'm thinking 10,000 downloads. 10,000 downloads, mate. I'll do a 24-hour, and guests will come in every couple of hours. But I'll just be live for 24 hours.
You could even make it a charity event.
Wowzers.
10,000 charity event. If we get to 10,000 downloads, 24-hour charity podcast. I'm just saying.
I'm in.
Yeah?
I'm in. Try and get every single guest I've had in that day, within that 24 hours.
Well, yes. And you have to have a drink every hour. Nah, you don't have to
we'll
coffee every hour.
We'll start with coffee, and then we'll get to a sensible time of 6, 7 o'clock, maybe 9 a.m. or maybe p.m. And then we'll go on to the drink. Maybe we could do it as an MMA event evening too. Oh my God, the planning.
Mate,
guys, help me out. Get me to 10,000 downloads. We're not counting YouTube views. It's all about the downloads. It's all about the audio. It's all about the people getting in their ear rolls. I love those guys. YouTube, yeah. I'm not saying what I think about you guys. until you change my mind. So, Jack is back. I put out on my Instagram, to ask a few questions, yeah, and I'm going to roll them out throughout the podcast. Now, the first one, I think it gripped the nation, to be honest. How are you doing with your rats and your rat problem?
Bad. We've had to. We've definitely had to take a step back and
This sounds like a military
reevaluate the situation. Yeah, it's not going well. To be fair, I've left them alone because they mugged me off so much last time that I'm trying to rebuild my confidence. And then just to damage it even more, because the rat must have seen me and gone, yeah, we've got him on the ropes here, just to try and deliver a haymaker, it run across my garden in the middle of the day.
Broad daylight.
Broad daylight. Honestly, it basically took its clothes off and streaked across my garden and said, "Oh, here you go, enjoy it." And I have not enjoyed it.
So I like how you're taking the Navy approach to it though. So, sir, we've got to step back. We've got to reevaluate. They're getting clever.
Yeah. I started reading The Art of War. See if that would help me. See if I can get a psychological advantage.
Oh dear. So, listeners, I hope that has filled you in on Ratgate.
Ratgate.
www.waxandrelax.co.uk, guys. It did fill most of our episode last week. Well, not last week. 2 weeks ago. 3 weeks ago.
2 weeks ago, yeah.
It filled most of our episode. Jack taking on his rat problem. Now, talking of streakers and people on the pitch, let's get to football.
Yes.
So the Man United fans standing up for protest went a bit too far. We're going to get into the media taking it too far as well. But what was your take on what happened at the weekend?
I think it's just the pinnacle, innit, of something that's been boiling, innit? But it's just suddenly boiled over. And you can understand, can't you, like where Man United fans are coming from. And like to an extent, I get you flooding the ground and I understand the protests, but I think it's a bit far. You see the kid on top of the goal.
Yeah. When he gets knocked off. When he gets getting knocked off.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, that dude takes a shot and he knocks him straight off.
Yeah, like, what do you think the Glazers are going to see that and say, well, actually, I can't be part of a club where kids want to get on top of the goal and get knocked off.
Yeah, that's
like,
the only
that's a safety issue.
Did you see the dude scoring the goal like Rooney, the overhead kick? Yeah. Someone's put the pictures together.
Yeah.
Same end as well, I think.
Yeah. Can you imagine being a serious protester and you're in there, you're like, Glazer out, cheering it all and that, and then you've got geezers. Some guy's brought his own football to play with. Yeah. Like, he's probably planned ahead. He's like, he's probably got his mates with his gloves on in the other goal, thinking, we'll have a kick about here.
Imagine they broke in, they've just got two teams ready to go.
Shirts v Skins, Man United special.
And they were just literally like, we're doing this just to say we've played at Old Trafford. We're not even here to protest.
Yeah, if they'd done it properly, they had old Souness, Keane and Mika Richards on the punditry team as well.
Imagine they're just like, the game's not going to happen, but here we go, we've got 90 minutes of Shirts v Skins.
Yeah, the Skins right back's looking a little fatigued. It's probably the 4 beers he's had on the way here.
Now, the thing to me is like, stepping in there probably a bit too far, but maybe they could have just got in the stands and stood in the stands chanting like fans. Like, yeah. But the thing I did notice was it was a lot of young people.
Yeah, it's that. I think to an extent, it's you do get this like mob mentality. Do you know what I mean? You get it with all protests, really. You'll get like a couple of people that go, "Oh, let's just go for the sake of it." Do you know what I mean? And they have no intentions of like helping people with their issues. They just want to go and be a part of it.
And they just get drunk.
Get drunk. And that guy that threw a flare at the punditry box. You're like, what were you hoping to achieve? Like throwing a flare or throwing a beer can?
Like you say, all it does is it takes away from the meaning of what they're doing.
Yeah, 100%.
I'm glad that like Keane and people like that who were talking on the punditry when they were saying that you can't forget about the bigger picture because of one or two idiots. But that's all the media are doing. All I've seen on Sky Sports now is this person's arrested. The police have done this. Man United are going to get deducted points in the league.
Yeah.
Liverpool fans not condoning what they did and stuff like that. And it's it upsetting.
Causes separation.
It's upsetting because they had, like you say, they had a goal in mind.
Because you think they didn't really trash the stadium. I know someone stole a corner flag, but they've probably got loads. But they didn't really trash the stadium, like you say. They went on the pitch, wanted to get a point across. It was an extreme way of getting your point across. But yeah, like you say, there is that small number of people that just ruin it for everyone else. But the same, I mean, Arsenal were the same to an extent when they went outside their ground, didn't it? And they caused up a ruckus and stuff. To all the listeners, Sam is fiddling. I'm just going to give you a running commentary. He's in front of the camera and he's fiddling.
Yeah, very upsetting, guys. I've got to plug the laptop in.
Start again.
Hashtag I need a techie.
Ready?
And now I've unplugged something else to plug it in, so that might go off. Yeah, but Chelsea fans, and now we've got Ice Cream Man outside, you can probably hear that. Chelsea fans and Arsenal fans, they did it right. And all it took, the Chelsea www.waxandrelax.co.uk, guys. They make homemade wax melts, and they go in your house, probably in your garden when we've got summer, you can put them outside. They melt. I don't know if you've seen them. You put a flame underneath them, you melt, and they come out with the flavours, whatever they've infused the wax with. Now, they are handmade, guys. Now, in this time, we need to support local businesses, not even local, small businesses. They're from Bournemouth. They feel the waves. They feel the sea. They feel the sand from Bournemouth. They know what a good smell smells like. So get at them, www.waxandrelax.co.uk for all your good smelling wax melts. Chelsea fans, they tried to get the game banned, but all it took was for Peter Cech to come out and say, guys, let the bus in.
Yeah.
Like, stop being stupid, let the bus in.
Yeah. Like, I understand letting them play. It's that I'm torn at the moment between that opinion of do the players carry some of the burden of what their owners have done, or do you leave them be? Do you know what I mean? Oh, he's back.
Fiddling again. Devastating.
Oh, mate.
We'll roll with it.
It's all gone peaked on.
With it. God, technical issues. Yeah, but trust Man United fans to get it wrong, though. And then take it too far. But
yeah.
What I want to say is, dude, if me and you just decided, let's go break in to Man United today.
Yeah.
Not even a big game happening. So no one's even at the stadium. No one famous, no one important, nothing. Yeah?
Just me and you.
We ain't going to get in, are we?
Nah, probably not.
So, on a match day, with Keane, Gary Neville, to football people, famous people there.
Yeah.
Yeah? Teams about to arrive. So a stadium that's not, should be at least locked. Yeah?
Yeah. Yeah.
With famous people in there, you're telling me they ain't security. Not stewards. Not stewards. There's not security. Like big, burly, bald men, like the dudes I have in the studio with me on a freezer party, to say, you ain't coming in here.
If they were there, no one's getting in. I've seen them guys. No one's getting in.
Like, if Sam's there, you're cool. I'm all right. But do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah,
like,
I understand.
Me and you ain't going to be able to get on a train now, turn up in Manchester and let ourselves into Old Trafford. So what's it, on a match day when it should be even more secure?
Yeah.
How are they getting in?
But then they said they went through like the Munich tunnel. But what you got to think, like when no one's there, you know it's all locked. But when someone's there, things will be like if they drove down into the car park, that door through to the change rooms is going to be open, isn't it? It's just
But
it's
there's a
just
mob outside,
opportunist.
a big mob outside.
Yeah,
You don't go, well, we'll just chill match day. You go, batten down the hatches. It could kick off.
yeah. Lock it off.
Like, but then that leads me to, did they want them to get in?
Yeah. Nah. Well, I did. To be fair, I did see a video, and it was very like it weren't cut and dry by any means. Like if you were in a court of law, they would have just dismissed it. This is how like open it was to interpretation. And it was a steward, and there was a door open, and this guy was recording the steward, and he was like, "You've just let us in. You've just let us in." And I mean, you didn't see him do it and stuff like that, but all the comments were just like, "Why have you just snitched on this guy? Like, maybe he did let you in. Like, why are you snitching on him?"
So that leads me to, you might have better hear me clearly, guys. I'm fiddling again. That leads me, and I can't be asked to edit properly. So this is what you get, guys. Raw podcasting
From a distance.
from a distancer.
If you're watching it on YouTube, I keep getting Sam's pecs up at the camera. It's good times.
So, like you say, it might be cut and dry, and it might have been made, but now you could have one, like, because I love a good conspiracy. We know that here. One, you could be the steward could agree. So he could be like, I'm not allowed to use force, so I'm going to go, sorry, thou shall not let you in. Oh, you let yourselves in.
Yeah.
But on the other hand, is that what the Glazers wanted?
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I can't imagine they did just for the sake of if it's going to get, because if that stadium gets trashed and then they try and sell it, it ain't going to go for as good a price. You know what I mean?
Dude, a bunch of thugs turning up outside into the stadium is not going to make the Glazers sell Man United for a discounted value.
Well, I think it'll affect. Imagine you're coming into a troubled team, like you got all the fans are against you, like everyone's against you.
Thousands of miles away, sat in America in their big old ivory tower. You really think they care about some teenagers breaking into their stadium and making themselves look stupid? Because at the end of the day, they'll just sit back and go, "Oh, you got deducted points. Now you're annoyed you're third in the league. You won't do that again." And the Glazers go, "Well, we still get paid. Man United still be the biggest club." Really? Imagine if Man United got relegated from the Premier League, they'd still be one of the biggest clubs. They still would be.
But I think that's where the fans have got it right, innit? Because these owners are so far detached from it. Do you know what I mean? He'd probably turn on CNN, and Old Trafford getting rushed wouldn't even make CNN or Fox. It'd just be something else going on in like America, something to do with the pandemic and stuff, like something else going on in America. Like they probably don't even know. Like they'll get a text in, they'll go like pick up their phone and go, "Oh, rushed. Fair enough. Put it down. It's like need more security next time."
Bro, that was a proper London sentence. Just because you ended it with rushed.
Rushed.
Stadium got rushed. For the people in America, that means people going into the stadium.
They forcefully trespassed at pace.
A fast walk.
Right, yeah. So next time you see someone, you go, "Oh, you got rushed."
You go.
They rushed that place.
They would literally just look at you, Americans, and be like, "What?
Where was he rushing?
What?
No, he rushed.
Who's going where? Yeah, who's going where fast? Why are you trying to leave?
Yeah, who's forcefully trespassing at pace? I'm just going to say that now.
That sounds like a court of law.
Maybe I don't know.
That's what it's going to say in the law for last weekend.
Yeah.
So you are being charged with forcefully entering Man United's football ground at pace.
At pace. And his lawyer's sat there and he's like, "Your Honour, as you can clearly see, he was walking at speed. There was no pace intended."
He was just a passerby and got dragged in at pace.
Oh yeah, all the jury looking like, that is a walk. It's just a speed walk.
That does not look like it's done in anger. That is done in protest, peacefully.
Yeah. Yeah, the court sees him not guilty. He was not in haste.
So they reckon they've charged a lot of them, don't they? And that's another thing that annoys me. I get it. I get the police have got a job to do. But as soon as you turned on Sky Sports, well, I was sat 4 beers deep, ready for the derby. Then they finally said, this is what's happening outside Old Trafford. And the first thing you see is a police officer pushing someone over. I'm sorry, I don't care if I'm stood somewhere and you see that I'm maybe doing something wrong, but you push me over, I'm going to get angry. I'm not just going to laugh that off.
Yeah, but you think if they're on, basically they're on private property, aren't they? Really, like these protesters. It's the same, like you say, innit? If you come into my house uninvited and I called the police and they dragged you out, you go, okay, fair enough. Like you kicked me out. It's the same sort of thing.
But then they expect when you're being pushed over and that you're gonna, okay, cool, just gonna leave. Like you're there to make a point. And they know they're gonna roll you up by pushing you.
Yeah. I mean, but on the flip side as well, you've got like there was a police officer injured as well. I think that's what frustrates me, is when you get two innocent parties. Let's be honest. Like you've got these fans that want something, and you've got these police officers that have been told to do a job, whether they want to or not. And then you get these two clash, and you go, and like you say, people get injured, pushed, hurt, and you go, what's the point? Like, no one's intention is for people to get hurt, whatever side you stand on. So I always think that's the upsetting part. And again, the media will spin that any way possible.
They already have. Nothing positive's come out of it. Nothing positive in the media has come out of it. And I spoke on my last podcast about the media, and it's all just shit and doom and gloom and horribleness all the time. And that's the problem. And that's the world we're living in now. Like you can't, like that. They've been protesting in London at the moment about the laws they're trying to bring in about protesting. Yeah, they're basically trying to stop you protesting, which is the only freedom of speech we have left, really. And the only thing that this country is good for is we're allowed to protest and we're allowed to say our opinion. Yeah. But when it always turns ugly because the government or whoever is up in the police says you need to move them on, well, it's going to get ugly because they're there in anger. They're not there in love. They're not like, oh my God, don't pass the laws, man. Like, oh yeah, we're here for love and peace. They're there because they're angry that you're now taking away that probably the only real right at the moment we have left. Yeah. Is to be able to stand and express our opinion.
And it's conflict at the end of the day, isn't it? It's just domestic conflict that can be avoided. I think all conflict can be avoided. It just takes a bit of patience for everyone. This needs a sit down, man. Do you know what I mean? Like you said earlier, like with the people like you parking in people's space, they just come and say to you like, "Oh, like what's the deal?" And you go, "Oh, this is it." And then you sort it out. You go, "Okay, no worries." Or, "Oh, do you mind? I'll do this there, or I'll plant pots there, or whatever." I don't know, whatever he wants to do. I think if people just were content on talking and then being patient for things to be resolved, I think stuff like that wouldn't happen. Do you know what I mean?
Jeez. Jackie boy here dropping some absolute life bombs.
Yeah. You give me coffee and I'll give you waffle.
What? Coffee and waffles.
Coffee and waffles, mate.
Coffee and waffle. That's what, if this podcast blows up again like the last one, we're gonna have to have our own day. You can't take my Wednesday. We're gonna have to have a Friday, like a coffee and waffles with Jack.
Yeah, I saw something, and there was a guy, and he drank 12 bottles of the same beer, and then reviewed the beer, and that could just be us. We'll just drink, and then throughout the podcast, just get worse and worse and worse, and just see what happens.
Oh, dude! We recorded the 2,000 download special. We preempted the 2,000 downloads we were about to get. So we pre-recorded the freezer party version of the two. Yeah. And I ended up a little bit worse for wear, put it that way.
Yes.
And then we had to film the MMA show after it, which was ended up like an hour and 40 long. But you know what I'm like, mate. Especially when I haven't had a beer, you laugh at me, I'm going to keep going. And when I've had a beer, you laugh at me, I'm going even more. And those two just kept laughing at me, man. Like, and it was just, yeah, just the MMA show was an hour and 40 long. I think we started both, so we preempted and pre-recorded the one show and straight into the next, and it was like 5 hours of podcasting. We were just in the studio for 5 hours, man. And I was on the San Miguel's. I was on the San Miguel's.
What's it like editing videos and stuff, and every so often, like, you hear your words slurring more and more, so you get to the end and you're just absolute battered.
Yeah, it's not as bad as the first ever episode. If you go back, and listeners and viewers go back and watch or listen to the first ever Freezer Party, that was the worst, because it was more intense. It was more panicking. All the technical side, I was like worried it was not gonna work, and then obviously hosting it with 2 other people in the studio, so I was drinking way before it started. Then when it started, then it was like, I think it was like a 2.5 hour episode, because I didn't really know what podcasting was and what to do, how to get a good show out of people, and what to watch and listen to. So we watched like the whole MMA, and I was just boof boof boof. The whiskey came off the shelf, that went in, and
calming the nerves.
It just got worse, drunk. And that one was like, everyone was messaging like, Sam, by the end of that, dude, you were gone. So this one wasn't as bad as that. I was a bit more professional. I kept it a little bit slower, but I was just
professionally pissed.
It's worse having it, because we've got a fridge in the studio as well. I'm just like, Tez, pass another one. One.
More and more people are doing it, like having little fridges. Like my brother for Christmas got a fridge in his bedroom.
That's dangerous.
And it's always stocked with 2 bottles of Jack Daniels. Always.
That's dangerous.
I'll give him a shout out for that. But then I saw my mate the other day, and he said to me that he'd got one. And I was like, you as well? Now I'm thinking, I need a fridge in my bedroom. You've got one in the studio. Maybe this is a new thing. People putting fridges in every room of the house.
The new studio's open. I'm having the freshest coffee machine, big fridge.
Oh, yeah.
Whiskey's on the wall, on tap.
Mate.
It's gonna be it's next level, just to a mini fridge.
Yeah, I'm gonna bring you up some coffee in it. I drink this Italian coffee that my cousin got me onto, man, and it'll, like, first couple will blow your socks off, but after that, it's good times.
Mate, I'm excited for that. I'm already in talks with a Brazilian dude about bringing some fresh Brazilian coffee over that his sister's grown, and they grow it. They're gonna grind it, send it over, so it's gonna come straight from their field, from the plant.
Look at you, mate. Mr. International.
That's the Mr. Worldwide.
Mr. Worldwide.
Just popping up everywhere, mate. Like, that could be a new phrase, just popping up everywhere like Pitbull.
Yeah.
Oh my God, Pavarotti's brought out a new song. And he just pops up.
Pavarotti? Oh, I thought you actually, I was like, how do you know that?
Pavarotti's dropped a new banger, and you just got Pitbull in there. Hotel, motel, holiday.
At the start, innit? He just shouts, Mr. Worldwide.
Mr. Worldwide. Just Pitbull. Just me, the Sam, on the Pitbull of podcasting, popping up everywhere.
That's it, mate. Getting coffee all around the world. Got that supply, man.
What's up? Coffee with Sam podcast. Here I am, the Pitbull of podcasting, popping up everywhere.
You're gonna be like Tim Westwood, innit? When he's like, it's Tim Westwood, Mr. Westwood, Tim Dog, and he just reels off all these like pseudonyms. I
forgot about him, that like 50-year-old white gangster wannabe.
Mate, I've met him.
Oh my God!
So I used to work at a nightclub, and in Milton Keynes where I live. Shout out Wonderworld. It's closed now, but you know that's the kind of club it was. Anyway, and he used to come in and do Garage Nation, and on the mic, he's just like he is, in it, proper hype man. The whole crowd was going crazy, and I met him after when it all shut down. It was just him. I got him a drink actually. It was Patron and pineapple juice, like hard stuff, but good quality.
Is that like a specialty?
I don't know. I don't think so.
I feel like you need to sort me out with that next time we're together.
What, Patron and pineapple? Okay, yeah. Cool. It's expensive. What a gift.
Call it the Crow.
But yeah, so he had it, and I met him, and he was like, I said, Tim, and he was like,
get me a crow's foot.
Crow's foot, yeah. Patron and pineapple. That's it. You've done that now.
Yeah, you haven't.
And he's actually the most he's the most down to earth person I think I've ever met. Like real. There's him on the microphone, and then there's him in person, and he's very cool man, nice to meet you. Because I joked to him, I said, you're now the most famous person I met, and he just laughed. He goes, nah, that's not me. It was real, just real modest, man. What a nice guy.
And then you met me.
And then I met you, the most not modest person I've ever met.
Or the most famous.
You are, yeah. You're now you're in Brazil. You are the most famous person I've ever met.
The complete opposite from Tim Westwood. Not the most famous, and not the most down to earth, and not the most humble.
You're known, so you're like known in US. You got the plug in Brazil for coffee, all over the UK.
That sounds like a drug. That sounds like a drug deal.
Yeah.
Yeah, just gonna ship in some coffee.
Yeah, we're gonna go through South America into America and over to the UK.
My ploy working at DPD, mate, weren't COVID. I've just been there a year, so I can infiltrate, so I can get stuff delivered. So I actually worked my way. I infiltrated DPD. I worked my way all the way up to customs. So now I work in customs. So now I can send anything through, and it comes straight through X-ray. And I just say, "That's my parcel."
You're the top dog, innit? It says Sam on it, like Sam Thompson. He goes, "Yeah, dash it through.
Wave that through. Wave that through."
Next, yeah, that's fine. You've not scat. That's fine. Let's get it gone.
Connections in DPD customs. Connections in Brazil. I'm definitely bringing stuff in.
Yeah.
If I ain't, I am now.
Yeah. MI5, James Bond. If you're out there, this is your guy right here.
And
Sam
once you're
Thompson.
in the Navy, I'll be bringing ships of it. Ships and aeroplanes. I'm infiltrating
Literally
all the transport. All the transport.
On it, Mr. Worldwide.
Mr. Just coffee. Just for coffee, mate. Ships full of coffee.
You better always a Patron and pineapple in one hand and business cards with Mr. Worldwide in the other hand. You just throw at people, just woof.
I am the new 40-year-old white gangster wannabe, Tim Westwood, Sam Thompson.
You're not 40 yet. You got a couple years.
Close, bro. It's my birthday next month. Woo!
Hey.
So we've got a 30 podcast next month. I'm 30 next month, so we will have a birthday podcast, which could get dangerous too.
Yeah, better do.
Could get dangerous too.
Mate, 30.
I know, mate. Yeah.
Goodness. How are you feeling? Did your backache get?
No, my back actually gets better. It's getting better as I get older.
Oh, is it?
I'm less stupid.
Not trying to throw all these tricks anymore. Just just keeping it easy.
Yeah, put people holding people on my hands. That was no good for your health.
You've put them down now, haven't you?
No good for your health. No good for your health.
Oh, mate. Good times.
Good times. So, what has been happening in your week, Jacko? Down with you, mate. Any news on the Navy?
No. So I done my fitness test the other week. I'm literally waiting for a start date so I can go. I've got to do my 10 weeks basic training. If I get through that, I've got to do then 6 months training elsewhere. So I'm literally waiting on a start date, like holding out for a hero.
Wow. So guys, if you want to if you want to send him some love, say, let's do this. You got this. We believe in you. You can save the UK. You can be a hero of this country.
You can rush
into his DMs.
Yeah. Right. Wait, if anyone messages me saying you can save the UK, then you're crazy. No chance. It's not worth it.
So a few more questions came in for you, Jacko.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now it might be from people you know, it might be from people you don't know. We had one come in saying, when or is the Jedward hairdo ever coming back?
Wow. I don't know if they're fans or just trying to get at me.
And I'm not disclosing who, so don't even bother asking me on or off the podcast. It's confidential.
I'm going to text you later. I'm going to put it on my story. I said, whoever asked the Jedward, drop into my DMs. I'm not angry.
Just rush into my DMs.
I just rush into my DMs. I'm not angry. I just want to know. Nah, do you know what? I thought about it, and I think it's going to make a return now. I think because now the barbers and stuff are open, I can start cutting it, but it just takes so long to grow.
So you're going to keep it? Oh, I said that really bad. Like, really?
What? You're upset?
Well, I did say on the last podcast, I prefer the bald head. Well, not the bald head, but like.
Yeah, wow. At this point, do you know what it was? Because I've cut ever since I've shaved my head. People have been telling me I'm receding, and I have to correct people and say I'm not receding. I was already there to begin with. I just tried to hide it well. So I might have to bring it back.
My nephew did me like that, mate, about the bald and the receding. So I was sat at my sister's house. My nephew's on the side of me, and he just goes, Uncle Sam, you're going bald. And I was like, what? And he was like, look, there, you're bald. And I was like, no. I was like, your hair just naturally goes back like that. Yours does. He's like, no. Yours goes back further. And I was like, oh my God. I was like, how you going to do me like that?
Mate, I was in the barber shop.
I wanted to roundhouse kick him in the chin.
Should have done it. Just said discipline. So I was in the barber shop, and the girl that was cutting my hair ages ago, when I was first like getting it cut and stuff, and she was trying to give me hairdos that would not make it look like I was receding. And I was like, wow. Bitch. Do you know, like the barber chairs just come down? That was my self-esteem.
She asked you, do you want me to cover up your receding bits? And then she just kicks it and just go,
and here's your money. Just let me go.
It's looking a little
and there's a pub across the road, isn't it? I'm like, just let me go. I'm going to get drunk. Cheers.
It happens, mate. It happens to the best of us. And I've been told that I've told a few years ago, I'm just covering mine up with my fringe. So people will come for you. So if you're going to rock it like short and just rock the receding, then why not, mate? Why not?
I'll bring back the Jedward, but I'll have to keep people updated because obviously it's got to grow back.
It's going to take some time, mate.
It's gonna take a while.
It's gonna take a while, baby. So another one. Now you might know who this came from, or you might not. Has he always been that handsome?
That was me. I asked that question. Yes, I have. Next question.
Guys, if you've never seen Jack go red, he's just gone red at his own question. Probably not expecting to call that one out. Dude, you've got to have some self-love. We promote self-love on this podcast. The Coffee with Sam podcast promotes self-love. And if before you want to go out and be who you want to be, you've got to love yourself. So if you don't want to ask that question, then you need to learn to ask that question. Because guess what? I look at myself in the mirror every morning and I say, geez. And I actually said it about, I think it was on Saturday. I got back in the car after going to look at the house. And I caught myself in the window of the car. And I got in and said to Alex, you are lucky. And she was like, why? And I said, because I'm looking hot today. Yeah. Now, you can take that as big-headed. You can take that as what words you want to use for that. But if I didn't love myself,
you got it, man.
How can I expect someone else to love me if I didn't love myself?
You can't. The only time you tell yourself you're pretty or handsome can't be when you're drunk in a bathroom at 2:00 in the morning, man. It's got to be every morning. I tell myself, I say, oh man, you look good today.
Yes.
Spicy, hot today.
Woo!
And then I'll walk.
Fire today.
And then I'll walk out and someone says you're receding, and I'm like, down to earth again. Thanks.
No, you should. But then, if you didn't tell yourself that self-love in the morning, then someone told you that, you'd be in even more of a hole.
Yeah, man. You have to love yourself. Love yourself before you can love someone else.
And you can't expect no one to love you if you don't love yourself.
Exactly. Have to. Spicy hat.
And one of the most important questions that's ever been asked on this podcast, I'm going to drop this to you. This is me asking you a question. How do you eat your banana?
How?
Probably
blended up in a protein shake.
All right, Gainesville. All right, Jacksonville. All right.
I generally don't eat like I eat fruit, but I don't eat bananas and stuff like just as they are. Like,
that ain't gonna roll with me. What way would you peel a banana if you were about to eat it?
Oh, like so, 4 strips from the top, 4 strips down.
Where's the top on a banana?
Whichever way is facing up.
Oh, but is it the bit that's attached to the tree, or the bit that's
Oh
hanging?
yeah. I mean, if that's there, I'll do it. But there's been times where that's not happened, and I've just ripped it apart.
Oh, that just gives you like unevenage, man. You've got that bit hanging then with the heavy bit on the end.
Yeah, I know. But
So what you have to do, you
I
have to
think,
flip it the other way and do it like
yeah,
the gorillas do it, and you have to squeeze the end so it cracks. Then you get a perfect split, like the emoji, man. Looks just like
you
the
need to.
emoji. Looks just like the Mario Kart bananas. And Mario Kart bananas got the bit that
Oh,
goes on the top on the end.
oh, it does.
It
I
don't
just
have
thought it
no
was for
crack
effect.
off the end. And the main reason why I eat it that way is because spiders.
What?
Spiders. They hatch in the end where all the bananas are in the tree, and that's the end you're breaking it from.
Don't say that, because if anyone that knows me knows I have a tremendous fear of spiders. So there go
From now
bananas.
on, eat your banana from the bottom first. Like the gorillas. Back to your
I'm getting,
roots.
I'm getting someone else to open it.
You ever seen the video?
So,
You ever seen the video of the spider coming out of the one?
um, no.
It's like
If-
bubbling. It's like bubbling, and then it's like, and it just comes out like Alien, like a scene of Alien.
Oh, I mean, you can see these like you see these things in it where it's like oh like fruit imported from like South America or whatever, and it got into like a Morrison's, and there was a massive spider in it, like
Yeah, I
a
think like
spider in the watermelons.
at least once a month they must find something in a supermarket. At least.
I used to work at a European, like we are like a European distributor. We used to get our product in from Asia, and I found a lizard. It was dead, but it was still I mean, it was a lizard. It, I can't remember what I called him,
It
like
was a
Larry
lizard.
or something. I kept it in my warehouse
We
in a
had one. We
box.
had a not red back. What they called widow, black widow,
Did you
in Tamworth once in a wood yard. They had to like shut the whole place
work in a
down.
wood yard?
Mate, I told them when I was out in Cali, I told them about that, and they found it the funniest thing ever. When I was on FaceTime to Alex, working in
Yeah.
someone's garden, and I was looking for them, and you could just see them like 10 or 11 running around, like just pick wood up. There they
Nah.
are, black widows.
See, this is why I'm so happy that I live in the UK. I was
Yeah,
like,
we are lucky, man.
people say to me like about going to Australia. And I said no. I said spiders. I don't care. Sharks, snakes, don't bother me. Lizard, I'll keep it as a pet. But you get one of them eight-legged freaks look at you, man. I'm gone.
Why?
Like
Why
I'll
don't
go straight to the airport.
why don't animals leave their country? Like why don't endangered species leave? Like why have we got none in the UK? Like why don't they just fly or travel, swim?
I've never seen a spider swim, and I've never seen a spider swim the channel either.
Just like
Nah,
mate,
can you imagine?
eight oars, mate.
Be like a speedboat crossing the channel.
Speedboat.
You have the lifeguards on it. Like, what is this like?
Why don't
Torpedo
why
coming over.
why don't we have dangerous animals in the UK, man? Like
I don't know. Probably evolution. Our climate isn't particularly exotic, so we don't have that.
so it's the
I
heat.
don't know.
So for the
You
UK,
don't-
when we're moaning about the weather, we should be happy because we don't have no endangered animals here.
Yeah, I'll take rain all day. If they said, "What do you want? Rain every day, or it to be sunny, but you might get a few more creepy crawlies," I'll just let it rain.
Creepy crawlies. You sound like a 10-year-old.
Honestly, that's the kind of fear I'm at with them. Like, if there's a big spider, nah, no, mm-mm. I had to repaint my wall because there was a spider up it, and I threw a boot at it.
A boot.
Yeah, like a Timberland boot. Yeah. Put a hole in my wall.
Did you get the spider?
Yeah, it did, yeah.
Oh, I was so hoping, and so probably were the listeners, that you said no then. And
No.
I was like, dude, you need to forget about catching any type
No.
of animal because you're not good at it.
No, I caught a fish. I caught a fish last week.
A fish?
Yeah. So I was in.
You're not a
I
ball
was
bag
in-
fisher, are you? Jesus Christ. I can't stand fishing. I tried fishing once, went, rod broke, came home, never fished since.
I've fished twice and I've been successful both times. First time was with my dad. we went mackerel fishing in Devon, and that was just pure luck, more luck than anything else. We didn't know. We just took a rod just to see what would happen. But no, recently, last week, I was in Worcester with a friend clearing out a house, and the person's garden backed on because the guy that used to own it had a canal boat. So his back garden backed onto the canal, and there was a fishing rod there with one hook on it and a float. And my mate was telling me, he goes, "Oh, that's what we used to do when we used to come down it." So we got a worm and went on it, and he goes, "Nah," he's like, "You're never catching anything. I've caught a fish." And that begs the question: am I Aquaman?
Sorry to tell you, no.
I can't catch anything on land.
Oh yeah, actually, yeah. And you're going in the Navy.
Yeah, anything in water.
Mate, what I think you should do, you should try and catch these rats with a rod and a boot. That's where you're going wrong, my friend.
Maybe, yeah. Maybe I'll just dangle a rod and just see if I can hook it.
If not, lob a boot at it. You've clearly got a good shot. You've got a nice arm. You've clearly got a nice arm.
Years of BTEC sports.
Bro, if you can hit a spider from distance with a boot, I'm sure you can hit a rat.
I wouldn't say it. And yeah, but you got to remember, like, it's a small object and a size 9 Timberland boot. I mean, yeah, it's like kicking a ball at an open goal, isn't it?
Maybe use a size 12 with the rats.
Yeah, steel toe cap.
And a rod.
Max.
Oh, dude, you're gonna be sat on your bloody garage with a rod now in camo.
I'm gonna look like the DreamWorks kid, you know, that sits on the moon. Because I don't want to be anywhere close to it. I'm just gonna drop a line down and see what happens.
Bro, have you got a garage?
Yeah.
Please, can you recreate this picture and put it next to the DreamWorks kid? Please.
Do I get up on top of it?
Please.
I'm gonna need to borrow someone's rod.
Please, just so I can post it on my Instagram if you don't want to put it on yours.
What, with a boot?
Yeah, a boot, a fishing rod.
I've got street cred somewhere.
Where?
I don't know.
Wait, where did you left that at birth, mate?
Yeah, it didn't follow me out of the hospital.
Oh dear, mate! What another banging episode! It's always exciting to chat to you. We never know where it's going. I probably have one little topic on the board to follow, and that is about it. There's no need to have any topics.
Oh mate, just flow, man.
With you, it can go anywhere, and it has gone everywhere. So thanks for joining me for another smashing episode on this sunny ass Wednesday in the West Midlands and in the South for you.
Where it's raining, but yeah.
Shh! Don't bring the podcast down. Jesus.
Oh, the sun has just come out.
You are transmitting to the West Midlands. So right now you're on my screen, on a big TV screen in the West Midlands. So you are in the West Midlands, and it is sunny in the middle of the country.
Shout out to people in Brazil.
Shout out to people in Brazil.
Just what I'm saying, I just think it's cool shouting out people that you know in other countries. It makes you sound Mr. Worldwide.
Just shout out to any random country.
Shout out. If you're in another country, comment. Drop us a DM. Let us know what country.
Rush the comment section.
Rush the comment section. Trespass those comments at haste.
At haste. Speedily. I don't care if it's... I've said that before. If it's negative, I don't care. Any interaction is interaction.
Yeah.
And it brings in... I feel like I need to put another rhyming word after interaction then, but it brings any reaction is interaction, and it
brings satisfaction.
Brings satisfaction to the download statosphere.
Mic drop.
Yeah, it didn't rhyme. I messed that one up there. But thanks for joining me, Jack. Yeah.
Thanks for having me again, man.
Mate, it's always a pleasure. And the next one.
Times.
The next one, because if this blows up, I don't think I can milk a third one. But if this one blows up, then we will get you in the studio.
Man.
Face to face.
Can't wait to see it. I'll bring the Patron and pineapple, man.
I'm excited for a crow's foot, man. I'm so excited for a crow's foot.
Yeah.
Yeah, bring it.
Yeah.
Bring it.
Good times.
Crow's foot and Italian coffee.
Oh, mate.
Maybe you could drop a shot of coffee in there too.
What with tequila and tequila maybe, but not the pineapple. Coffee and
Tequila,
pineapple.
pineapple, and then just a salt bay of coffee on top.
Dry granules.
Yeah.
Nice. All right. Deal.
So as you drink it, it just gets in you, and the dry granules slowly dissolve in your belly, and you just get that woo.
It's that consistent kick.
Yep, the consistent kick from the crow's foot caffeine. Oh, I feel like we just made something there. I reckon we could try it. We'll try it. We'll get some coffee sprinkles on there.
All right, done.
Sound.
Like they do espresso martini, just a few coffee beans.
Yes.
There you go.
On top, bro. So you could do a crow's foot and espresso's crow's foot.
Yeah. And then just the foot, and it'd be just tequila.
Yeah, you could just have a foot. Forget the crow.
Yeah.
Forget the crow. Just have the foot straight in with the boot. Straight in with the boot. Straight in with the boot, man. Straight in with the boot.
After it's off the end of a rod.
So, guys, we've exposed my drug dealing business. We have created a new drink, and we have put the worlds to right about Man United fans speedily, but not hastily, taking over the Man United stadium. It's been another smashing episode of Chit Chat with me, fueled by coffee. Thanks for joining me, Jack. Everyone out there, stay stimulated and stay weird.
Coffee with the Sam. Got a little podcast. Grab yourself a little coffee and a podcast.